Okay, today we are going to talk about adding and subtracting polynomials. And before we actually add and subtract, we want to learn how to name them and the parts of them. So I would pause the video and get all of this information in your notes. So there's two different ways that we can name a polynomial. One of them is by the number of terms. So if you have a monomial, that's one term. Binomial is two terms, trinomial three terms, and anything more than three we would call it a polynomial. Notice the number of terms is divided out by addition and subtraction. So this is considered one full term, even though there's two parts. Here is 1, 2. So that's a binomial, and then you can see 1, 2, 3. So that's a trinomial. The next thing we want to talk about is the degree of a polynomial. The degree is the highest exponent of the polynomial. So when you are determining it, you have to find the highest exponent, and that is the degree of your polynomial. I would also put this in your notes, so if you need to pause the video, I would do so now. The degree of a monomial is when we add the exponents together. So if we look at this example here, this is a monomial because that is only one term. The exponent is 5, so this is a degree of 5. On number 2, if we add the exponents together, that's a degree of 7. On number 3, that's a 1 right there. So this term right here has a degree of 4. There's a 1 right there. This term right here has a degree of 3. Since 4 is larger, then the degree of this one is 4. Standard form is the next part that you need to put into your notes. And standard form means the exponents go from high to low. So if you need a pause and write the definition in your notes, I would do so now. Example number 1 here, it says write in standard form. So we have 3 terms here, which means this is a trinomial, and the highest degree is 2. That highest exponent is 2. So negative 7x to the second is going to come first. This is an x to the first power. So then I have a plus 3x to the first power, and then minus 6. You could really imagine that that's a x to the 0. We just don't write that, which is why you see it as a constant term. So it's really just a 6 there. That is written in standard form, and this would be considered a trinomial because it has 3 terms. The last part is your leading coefficient, and that is once it's in standard form, it is that very first number. If you remember, coefficient is the number that's in front of a variable, and so the leading coefficient is going to be that very first number you see once it is in standard form. So if we look at this example up here, negative 7 would be your leading coefficient because this is written in standard form and that's the very first number. So your leading coefficient is negative 7 in that problem. So let's just find the degree of each of these polynomials. So this one is a monomial, there's only one term, there's only one variable, so that's a degree of 2. This one here, that x has a power of 1, so 1 plus 3 means that degree is 4. Here, 3 plus 3 means my degree is 6. And here, I do not have any exponents, so my degree is 0. Okay, so we have 15x minus x to the third plus 3. So my highest exponent is this term right here. So I have negative x to the third plus 15x plus 3. Notice my exponents go from high to low. And so that's our standard form. My degree, this term has a degree of 3, this term has a degree of 1, and this term has a degree of 0. So my degree is 3 because 3 is the highest. And then my leading coefficient